I'm Lulu and welcome to Lulu's Way. I'm really glad you're here. So I'm trying something a little bit new in this little kitchenette I have because I really don't have good camera angles, but I got this table out and I got this, I just put this contact paper on it. It's a little low. It would be nice if it was counter height, but it's not. But this is going to do for today. And then I will tweak things as I go along. But I was just about to make something and I thought, I want to share this idea. Very, very simple. It's not a complicated recipe. It's just another way to cook veggies that are delish. So what I have here is some zucchini and I have some summer squash. I'm going to first make the zucchini. I'm going to make them separately because I have two different ideas. I'm going to give them a little rinse. Let's see. I think this cardboard right here is recyclable, but not this plastic. So I'll put this in the recycling and I'll put this in the trash. Okay, so I'm going to grab this pan. This pan is great. Now, I don't know what the finish is, but it's not Teflon. And nothing sticks to it. It's almost like it's gotten better over the years, like it's very seasoned. You can see like it's all it looks almost kind of like it's yucky. The way like a cast iron pan gets very seasoned, it doesn't feel like cast iron. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm just saying that nothing sticks to this and it's terrific. But I do use the spray, so I'm going to just do some sprays here. Now another thing I like to do when I use this non-stick spray is I like to take a couple of my fingers and I like to just spread it because I want every bit of it to have that tiny, tiny coat of oil just to further help it not stick. All right, so now I'm going to get my cutting board and my favorite knife. I always talk about this knife. It's a great knife. So what I'm going to do is I like to cut these in half the long way and put them cut side down on this pan. But first I want all the seasonings. Instead of cutting all these, having them all face up and sprinkle everything on top, I sprinkle everything on the bottom and set everything cut side down. So the few things that I'm going to choose, and really you can choose anything, okay? I'm going to choose salt. And instead of pepper, I'm going to use this crushed red pepper just to give it a kick. There we go. I'm going to use some garlic powder. And I have some fresh dried chives from my garden. I put them in the dehydrator. And I'm going to sprinkle some of these down here. Okay. And there is my pan with all the seasonings on it. Now, possibilities are endless. You could do salt and pepper, garlic and oregano. You could do salt and pepper and smoked paprika. That's good too. So all kinds of ideas. Okay, so I'm going to cut the top and the bottoms off. And I'm going to slice it down the middle. And put it cut side down on top of all those goodies. So now, as you can see, these two zucchinis are two totally different sizes. One is a lot smaller than the other. If I see a bunch of zucchinis that I can pick from, I always try to get the same size so they just cook evenly. But with this, with the way they sold them in these packages, I didn't have a choice. So, but I'm going to say look for zucchinis that are all around the same size. So they'll cook perfectly the same. Okay, so now you'll see they're all on there, but there's all kinds of spices and seasonings that are not on the zucchini. They're in between the zucchinis. So I like to just give them a little turn like this, and you'll see that they will all pretty much disappear because they're all now on the zucchinis. Yeah. There you go. See the bottom of the zucchini? Okay. So now we're ready to rock and roll here. So I'm going to put these in my little toaster oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. And I'll check them after 20 minutes and see if they're soft. Not too soft. I don't want them to have a crunch, but I don't want them to be mush. You end up finding the right time, you know. I'm hoping they get nice and brown on the bottom. That's the plan. Okay, so now I'm going to get these yellow squashes ready. I'm going to give them a rinse. Again, if I was selecting these myself, I would select them all the same size. But this is how they came. I'll deal with it. It's no big deal. Okay, so I'm going to wait for the zucchinis to finish. Then I'm going to use the same pan for these. I have one other pan. I have this pan, but I don't think they're going to fit on this one. This is another really good pan, even though it really looks yucky. It's just seasoned. I call it seasoned, and it's a great pan. So we'll come back when the zucchinis are done. Okay, so the timer went off. Let's see what we got here. Okay, they feel perfectly done. I'm going to flip them over and see if they browned. Not really. They cooked before they had a chance to brown. It's not critical, but I like when they get a little brown. That's what they look like. I'm going to put them under the broiler for 5 minutes just to see if they get a little toasty. Okay, we'll come back in 5 and look at those. Okay, let's see what happened here in the broiler. Okay, they got a little bit toasty. They did get a little bit toasty. Okay, so I'm going to get one of my Rubbermaid Brilliance containers and my tongs, and I'm going to put them in here to cool. There's the zucchini already. Okay, so now I'm going to clean this because the way I'm going to cook the summer squash is a totally different flavor. Might surprise you. So let me get this cleaned. Okay, this is all clean. Just going to dry it off. I'm going to give it a spray. I'm going to spread it out. Okay. Salt. Cinnamon. Okay. Nice coating of cinnamon on the tray. Just like that. Now, I'm going to cut my ends off. Cut it down the middle. Again, I'm going to give this a shake around so that all the cinnamon gets at the bottom. So you get the cinnamon on the bottom. Okay, now this is going to go in. I'm going to say the same amount of time. So I'm going to say 20 minutes at 400. I'm going to flip them over and put them under the broiler for 5 minutes. Now, when I turn those over, I might give them another little sprinkle of cinnamon before I put them under the broiler, just to make them extra cinnamony. It's a very interesting combination. I would eat those with the zucchini. Like I'm not going to eat those separate. It just goes with, if I have my sweet potato and I have my chicken with the summer squash with the cinnamon, it just works. It just works. It's an interesting flavor to bring to veggies, just for something different. So we'll come back when those are done. Okay, the timer went off. Let's see what's going on with the squashes. Let's see. Yep, they're perfect. Perfect softness. So these look like they're browned, but it's cinnamon. Yeah, I don't think that needs any more cinnamon. I think that's good right like that. Yeah, I don't need to brown them. There's something about the eye appeal of that browned look, and that's what the cinnamon gives it. So the zucchini does not have that. So that's why I kind of like put it under the broiler, trying to get it a little toasty, but I don't want to overcook them, you know? So there's that kind of fine line. So I'm going to put these in here. I kind of crisscross them so that they'll cool a little bit faster. All right. So now I'm also going to be cooking some chicken. So what I did was I'm using this this seasoning blend, which it's fabulous. It's a fabulous flavor. So I have this cookie sheet, and I sprinkled a whole layer of this on top of the sheet, and then I put all the chicken on top. Now I'm going to sprinkle this on the top. I'm pretty generous with this. Some people don't want to be quite as generous with it because they find it might be a little too salty, but I don't find that. So there, that's all covered. I'm going to put that in the toaster oven and just bake that until it is cooked through, but not overcooked. Don't overcook your chicken, people. I always say that, like, if it looks like it's not quite done, it's close to done, take it out and let it sit on the pan, and it will finish cooking and without drying out. So, okay, so we're going to let that go. And then I'm going to put my lunch together. So this is how that's going to look. Okay, I'm going to get my favorite lunch and dinner dish, which is really just kind of like a pie plate. I found this at a thrift store. People are always asking me about where I got this. I like it because it's the size of a plate, but it has sides. And this is where I have all my meals. And I can heat in it, and I can eat out of it. I also make my salads in it when I'm home. I just really like this dish. I did find a comparable one on Amazon. I'll put that link in the description. So I'm going to get out my scale. And I'm going to get these zucchinis. I'm going to get my scissors. I like to have my meals already in bite-sized pieces because I like to eat in my recliner on my lap, so I don't want to be using a fork and a knife, so I just do it like this. And let's see, I'm going to put some of this in with it too. So this summer squash is a little hot to handle. Oh. So I think what I'm going to do is put them on here and cut them. So there's my 16 ounces of veg, all my summer squashes. Now, in here is my Japanese white sweet potatoes that I cut in half and roasted in the oven. And this is what they look like when they get nice and roasty toasty. See, these get nice and toasty because they take so long to cook, so they have a chance to get brown, but the zucchini cooks too quick. So, all right, so let's see. I'm going to cut these in bite-sized pieces as well. sometimes the skin on these sweet potatoes are kind of tough, and sometimes they're not. And if they're tough, I take them off. If they're not, I leave them. There we go. That's 4 ounces. I like to keep a paper towel in with these just to absorb any moisture. In between having them, having the paper towel in here and having these Rubbermaid Brilliance containers, these things stay fresh for days. I'm so grateful for these containers and Kathleen that told me about them. So thanks, Kathleen. All right, so then I'm going to wait until the chicken comes out, and I'll put in my chicken serving. Also, I'm going to use avocado oil, so I'll put on my oil serving. There we go. And I'll put some salt and pepper. I know that everything is already salt and peppered, but just a little bit more. Okay, I'll be back to put the chicken on here, and then it will be lunchtime. Okay, so the chicken just came out of the oven. It looks delish, delish, delish. And I'm gonna put in my protein serving in my lunch. So I'm going to use tongs to pick this up because it's hot. But again, I like things in bite-sized pieces. It's just what I do. That's it. 5 ounces. I have 5 ounces of chicken on my lunch. I'm going to let this cool. And here is the finished lunch. How good does that look? It's going to be so delish. Chicken, zucchini, yellow squash, sweet potato, avocado oil, salt and pepper, all those different flavors. I got this grill seasoning flavor on the chicken. I got the cinnamon on the squash. I have the garlic and the chives, and that crushed red pepper will give it a little bite. Those creamy sweet potatoes. This is the perfect lunch.